Okay, meanwhile, speaking of entertainment media providing us with false and ridiculous narratives, particularly on race, Hulu is bringing the 1619 Project to the air. Ooh, are you excited? So apparently it's going to be a fictional series since the actual series itself is fictional. The 1619 Project, written by the ridiculous pseudo-journalist Nikole Hannah-Jones, which is predicated on a bevy of lies about how the American Revolution was fought to preserve slavery, a total falsehood. That is now being turned into a series by Hulu. This is the way that they now, the merger between left-wing politicians and media and entertainment is absolutely complete. There is no distinction. It's a monolith at this point. Barack Obama leaves office. He immediately signs an entertainment contract with Netflix. Nikole Hannah-Jones wins the Pulitzer for writing a piece of fiction about how America is historically and systemically racist and impossible to cure, and how everything in America is rooted in racism and slavery. And Hulu gives her some sort of deal. By the way, has she even written a piece for the New York Times inside the last 5 years? It's like they keep her on as writer emeritus without actually doing anything, just so they can say that this person who spends most of her time on Twitter saying ridiculous crap can be portrayed as some sort of public intellectual. Well, now she's getting paid, presumably, for the 1619 Project. According to Essence, Nikole Hannah-Jones' Pulitzer Prize-winning New York Times work, The 1619 Project, has been adapted for a series on Hulu. The 6-part documentary, quote, connects American history with the present by placing the contributions of Black Americans and the consequences of slavery at the very center of our country's narrative, a news release reads. Each 1-hour episode of the series, also titled The 1619 Project, will touch on one of the following themes: justice, democracy, capitalism, music, fear, and race. As host, Hannah-Jones will walk audiences through previously unexplored connections between America's past and the country it is today. She, of course, was on the cover of Essence magazine, so of course they're going to talk this up at this point. This particular ridiculous series is going to be executive produced by her and Oprah Winfrey. Oh, goody gumdrops. Apparently, Hannah-Jones says the legacy of slavery is shaping the lives of our children, the society in which they live, whether we teach them about it or not. Black children specifically do not have the luxury of being shielded from racism, this history, and its impacts. I have too much respect for children to believe they should be lied to, even if that is a lie by omission. Yes, America is such a racist country that a talentless hack like Nikole Hannah-Jones can earn millions of dollars for writing complete fiction about American history and having it telescoped into a series from Hulu. What a racist, horrifying country this is, when people like Nikole Hannah-Jones can make a lot of money. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
They say our people were born on the water. The very first of us arrived over 400 years ago. Virtually no aspect of our country has been untouched by the centuries of slavery that followed. This is the 1619 Project.
Okay, so great. Every single aspect of our country untouched has been touched by slavery. Every single one of them. All of them. Which means, of course, that fruit of the poisonous tree. So glad that we have, I assume Hulu has been touched by slavery, so it's time for them to pay some reparations, which I assume they're doing in the form of actually greenlighting this series, which will, I assume, get not amazing ratings. So there is that. It's the beginning of a brand new year. You need to live a healthier lifestyle, right? This is one of your big New Year's resolution to get healthier, but you know it's really tough getting all those veggies and fruits. And it's hard to do that in your daily diet. Well, I can make it a lot easier for you. You should use what I'm using, that is Balance of Nature. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies are the best way to make sure you're getting essential nutritional ingredients every single day. Their products are 100% whole food. Balance of Nature uses a cold vacuum process that preserves the natural phytonutrients in whole fruits and vegetables and encapsulates them for easy consumption. Balance of Nature sent a bunch of their product down to the studio for my team to try. We all love them. I was very excited to find out that they're kosher, which means that I can have them as well. And I'm feeling more energy, which I need because I have a brand new puppy this new year. It's keeping me up all night, so I need the energy. When you're disciplined enough to take care of your health, you reap all those benefits: more energy, less fatigue, better focus. Consuming the right balance of fruits and veggies every day is an important first step. Head on over to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Shapiro for $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fiber and spice. That is balanceofnature.com. Promo code Shapiro for $25 off your first preferred order. Again, balanceofnature.com. Promo code Shapiro. Get $25 off your first preferred order and start living a healthier lifestyle right now. It's a brand new year. Make it a brand new you. Balanceofnature.com. I'm sure it will be riveting television. It's fiction by Nikole Hannah-Jones. Very solid stuff happening right there. Meanwhile, by the way, if conservatives try to crack down on the teaching of pseudo-history in schools, they are yelled at. This is the latest from Florida. According to Daily Wire, a month after Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis won a resounding re-election victory and declared the state is where woke goes to die, the state's second largest school system signed a contract with an infamous peddler of woke partisanship to children. On December 13th, The Broward County School Board approved a contract with the ADL. The contract, managed by the school district's Department of Diversity and School Climate, expands an existing program called No Place for Hate, which proclaims move on from kindness. Schools need to foster social justice. Because, again, the goal of the left is not to foster a kinder, gentler America where people treat each other well. The goal of the left is to cram down its particularly perverse point of view on every human being and create a sort of intersectional hierarchy where people are silenced based on the lack of intersectional characteristics. The move calls for training select student leaders of No Place for Hate under ADL's A World of Difference program. The contract says the ADL will cover the cost of the training. A document for A World of Difference calls for preschoolers to learn to take a stand. What exactly is that stand? Well, this means get them involved in action, advocacy, and or activism in order to effect systemic change. Students need to analyze and challenge the opportunity achievement gap, school funding inequities, and the school-to-prison pipelines. That's just propaganda. Right, so kids need to get active in helping to teach the same sort of propaganda that Nikole Hannah-Jones teaches. Very important. This is why so many school districts across the country have started to use the 1619 Project as actual curriculum, when in fact they should be checking out Hillsdale College for K-8 curriculum. The ADL says people of color and or those who are members of marginalized groups may want to share real and sometimes harsh testimony about their experiences. They may want to caucus with others in their same identity group in order to feel safe. Or they may feel that being able to challenge others' bias is what is necessary to build empathy. Different perspectives may be attributed to whether one is part of a marginalized or majority group in school or society. Oh, so if you have a different view and your view is wrong, but if you're part of a marginalized group, maybe it's right. We're not going to use one actual metric or ruler for success. Instead, it depends on your intersectional characteristics. If you know students' correct pronouns and names, use them in class. Do not rely on official or roster information, adds the ADL. The No Place for Hate website lists as a resource ADL lesson plans, free and pre-assembled, attracting teachers who want to save the work of creating their own plans, which push naked partisanship on children. One is titled Georgia's Restrictive Voting Law, which suggests, of course, that the Georgia voting law, which is more liberal than Delaware or New York, is actually a super Jim Crow attempt at reinstatement. Another document from the ADL titled Power and Privilege says, quote, students will examine the various levels of racial disparity in the criminal justice system and explore the role played by white privilege. Also, a third lesson says everyone could be a racist and says people discriminate based on factors they're not even aware of, including implicit biases. By the way, the implicit bias test is one of the most debunked piece of social science garbage ever put out there. You wonder why Ron DeSantis is seen as a potential winner in 2024. It is precisely because of this sort of stuff. There's so much for the right to challenge right now. There is so much bad stuff that is being done by the Biden administration, by federal organizations, by large-scale national nonprofits backed by the Democratic Party and its friends. There's so much to do that having incompetence in charge really is not a wonderful way of doing it. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click the link in the description and join us.